I am urgently calling you to pause in this moment, because there is something deeply personal I want to place within your heart. Something not meant for the noise of the crowd, but for eyes that know how to listen, and for a heart that still longs for light. My beloved child, do not rush past this word as though it were only a small echo in the middle of a long day. I do not call you by chance, nor have I brought you here merely so you would touch a sentence and then leave unconsciously. I have seen you from afar. You've seen the months and days when you tried to stand firm. We've seen the times when you told yourself that you no longer expected anything. Yet, inside you there was still a tiny ray of hope that refused to go out. It is that very light I am touching. It is that quiet place within you where I desire to breathe a new current of peace. You have been led to this moment by gentle ways that you do not always recognize. There were times when you thought it was only a passing thought. But in truth, I was softly calling you back to awareness. There were days when your heart suddenly felt heavy for no clear reason. Not so you would sink into anxiety, but so you would realize that there are deep places within you that need to be upheld by me. There were moments when you felt a quiet urging, a small reminder saying, "Stop, listen, and look more carefully at what I am doing." You may have ignored it many times, not because you intentionally resisted me, but because you were too tired, too busy, too accustomed to having to take care of everything by yourself. But today, I do not want you to continue passing by this call with hurried feet. My child, I have waited for you in places where you thought no one was waiting. I was there when you woke with a feeling of emptiness you did not know how to explain. I was there when you looked out the window and saw everything still appearing normal, while inside your heart you heard a longing you could not name. I was there when you smiled at others, then turned away and quietly asked when it would finally be your turn to feel lighter, to be healed, to see a door open after so many doors had closed. I heard even the words you did not dare to speak. I saw even the desires you hid away because you feared being disappointed again. And I am telling you this, the things you buried in silence have not been forgotten by me. What I am preparing to do within you does not necessarily have to come with a loud sound or a form that makes others notice. There are miracles that begin very quietly, like a breath that becomes less heavy, a fear that suddenly softens, a small faith relit in a place that had grown cold. There are changes that begin with 2 minutes in which you truly remain, no longer running from your own weariness, no longer hiding from me the things you carry, no longer trying to appear strong when all you desire is to be held in peace. I do not need you to explain at length. I do not need you to find beautiful words. I only need you to open your heart, like a small door cracking open before the morning light, so I may enter and do what your own strength could not do. You once thought there were things in your life that could no longer be repaired. Perhaps it was a wound that had lasted too long, a relationship that had grown distant, a joy that had gone out, a dream you once cherished but finally laid down because you had grown tired too many times. You heard words that made your heart sink, that everything was too late, that there was no way left, that you had to accept living with that emptiness. But my child, I do not look at you through the limited eyes of the world. I do not call brokenness the end when my hand still has power to rebuild. I do not consider what you have stopped praying for as something I have stopped caring about. The prayers you left unfinished because your tears were too many are still preserved in my mercy. So do not be afraid of this quiet moment. Close your eyes if you need to, not to escape reality, but to stop being pulled away by the images outside. Place your hand upon your chest and let your breathing become slower. Say within your heart that you are here, that you are listening, that you desire pled. When you do this, I begin to loosen the cords of tension that have tightened around you for too long. I begin to touch the areas within you that have grown used to guarding themselves. I begin to call peace back to the places that were once full of chaos. You may not see everything change immediately with your eyes, but do not despise a small beginning. In my hand, one sincere moment can become the turning point for an entire season ahead. I do not want you to speak of what I am doing within you as a hurried boast. There are holy things that need to be cherished in silence before they are revealed outwardly. There are seeds that need to lie deep in the soil for a time so their roots may grow firm. Guard what I place within you with humility. Do not rush to bring it before those who do not know how to honor your tenderness. Do not let the noise of others shake what I have just lit within you. Let this new faith grow in the hidden place, watered by quiet prayer, protected by peace, and nurtured by small yet faithful steps each day. If you feel that this word is calling directly into the depths of your being, let your Amen become a gentle response. Not because I need an outward sign to know that you hear, but because you yourself need a moment to tell your own heart that you are ready. Ready does not mean you are no longer afraid. Ready means you no longer allow fear to lead the way. Ready does not mean you understand everything. Ready means you accept my hand while you still cannot see the whole road. Let that response become an anchor of faith, holding you in peace when other voices try to pull you back into doubt. My beloved child, what I am doing is not meant to satisfy your curiosity, but to heal your weariness. I do not come to perform before your eyes. I come to remain with you. I do not only want you to see a sign, I want you to recognize the steadfast love that has followed you through every season. The greatest miracle is not always the thing that amazes everyone. Sometimes, the greatest miracle is that someone who once felt hopeless can breathe lightly again. Someone who once shut down dares to hope. Someone who once gave up rises once more in the light. And my child, I am calling you into that very renewal. Stay with me for these 2 minutes. Then, continue walking with a heart that has been upheld. Do not rush. Do not doubt. And do not let the hardness formed by old disappointments steal the tenderness I am restoring. I am drawing near to you not by force, but by kindness. I am placing before you a new beginning. Quiet, yet profound. Unshowy, yet full of power. Believe that I can still heal what seemed impossible, rebuild what seemed lost, and revive the prayers you had stopped mentioning. You are not forgotten. You did not come here in vain. In this very moment, I am beginning something gentle within you, and it will grow into light over the days ahead of you. I am turning everything behind the curtain. Even though your natural eyes have not yet seen the fullness of what I am doing, you may still wake in a familiar room, still pass through ordinary tasks, still see old circumstances as though nothing has changed. But my child, do not let the quiet appearance deceive your heart. In my hidden place, The wheels have already begun to move. The things that once bound you are gradually losing their strength. The delays that once made you weary are coming to an end. The silent pains that clung to you through many seasons are being loosened layer by layer by my hand. And the things you call miracles are drawing nearer than you realize. I do not move according to the noise of the world. But once I have begun, no darkness can command my light to stop. Recognize this moment with awareness in your heart. This is not a coincidence falling into your life without purpose. Nor is it a passing word for you to hear and forget. There are times when I place a word before you like a marker. So you may understand that the old season is making room for a new turning. You called upon me in days no one knew about, whispered my name with trembling lips, and sought me when your heart was surrounded by unanswered questions. I heard you from the very moment your heart turned toward me. The silence you once felt was not proof that I was far from you. Often, it was the time when I was fighting for you in places you could not touch, arranging things beyond your sight, and carrying the answer through layers of opposition that you could not break through by yourself. Remember that not every prayer appears before your eyes at the moment you expect. There was an ancient servant who sought me with perseverance, day after day, in humility and waiting. From the first moment that servant set his heart toward me, I listened. But the answer had to pass through unseen opposition before it reached the place where it needed to arrive. I remind you of this, not to make you afraid, but so you may understand that delay does not always mean I have refused. Sometimes what you are waiting for has already been spoken, prepared, and sent, but on its way to you. Forces try to discourage you before you see the result. They want you to give up right at the threshold, to turn away when the answer is drawing near, to conclude that I have not heard, simply because your eyes have not yet seen. My child, this has happened in your journey as well. I heard your voice from the first prayer, even when it was unfinished. Even when you did not know what to say, except to sigh through tears. I do not need perfect sentences to understand your heart. I heard the tremble in your voice, saw the weariness in your eyes. You saw your hands still trying to hold on to faith, even when inside you were nearly exhausted. My answer was not born slowly because I was indifferent. I began moving long ago. But while you were waiting, darkness tried to sow distraction, doubt, and weariness into you. It whispered that you had been forgotten, that your prayer was too small, that this painful season would last forever. But you still stood there. You still continued calling upon me. You still did not let go. That perseverance has become a beautiful testimony before me. You held on while your heart was hurting. You chose faithfulness while your strength was nearly spent. You still loved me on days when you did not understand why I seemed silent. You did not let circumstances rewrite your faith. There were times when you fell, but you did not let that fall become your final dwelling place. There were times when you cried, but you still returned to me. There were times when you were silent because you were too tired. Yet inside you, there was still a spark of expectation. I saw that light, and I did not despise it. A small flame in my hand can become a lamp that guides the way. A little trust remaining in your heart can become the bridge by which I lead you to the shore of restoration. Therefore, what I am about to do in your life bears the mark of your name. Not because you created it by your own strength, But because I placed that portion in my plan for you, there are blessings no one can steal, because they are not held in human hands. But in my will, there are doors no one can lock, because the key does not rest in the permission of people. There are restorations that cannot be stopped, because their source does not come from circumstance, but from my mercy. What darkness tried to steal from you will not have the final voice. Its delay is not strong enough to cancel my decree. Its disturbance cannot erase your name from what I have prepared. Now I call you not to turn away in this moment of transition. Do not rush past the gentle call within your heart as though it were only a passing emotion. Do not let the familiarity of disappointment prevent you from recognizing when hope is knocking. There are moments that are very holy, not because they are loud, but because, in their silence, I am setting your direction again. You may not yet see chains falling with your eyes, but in the hidden place, bondage is weakening. You may not yet see the door wide open before you, but its hinges have begun to move. You may not yet feel the pain disappear completely, but my hand has been placed upon the place where you were wounded, and healing is quietly spreading. I know you are tired from waiting. I know there are days when you ask yourself whether you still have enough strength to believe again. But I do not tell you to strain. I tell you to lean on me. True faith is not always a mighty shout of joy. Sometimes it is simply that you do not leave when your heart does not yet understand. Sometimes it is the small breath that says, I am still here, and I hear it. I see you. I know you. I will not let the months and days of your perseverance become meaningless. Every quiet prayer, every sleepless night, every time you chose not to let go of what was good within you has been placed in my hands. I am gathering them together to turn them into a season of answers greater than you ever imagined. So remain in my peace. My beloved child, open your heart to what I am bringing, not with haste, but with deep trust. What was delayed is being loosened. What was hidden is being brought into the light. What once hurt you is losing its right to rule over you. And what I began in your life will not be abandoned halfway. You do not need to fear that you missed my timing, because I am the one who leads you to the right place at the right time. Stand firm a little longer, not in tension, but in hope. Your miracle has not lost its way. Your answer has not been forgotten. I heard you from the beginning. I am acting right now. And when the light breaks forth, you will understand that everything that seemed delayed was used by me to prepare a fuller, deeper, and more beautiful deliverance for your life. I want you to know this clearly, deeply, and without any doubt left in your heart. I am not angry with you. I am not standing high above to punish you. And you have not lost the opportunity I prepared for you. No matter how far you feel you have wandered or how many things you believe you have missed, my beloved child, there are times when you look back at yourself and sigh, your heart heavy with memories of wrong decisions, misguided steps, times when you were silent when you should have trusted, moments when you allowed fear to speak louder than faith, when doubt covered the light I had placed within you. You thought all these things made me so disappointed that I turned my face away from you. That because you were not always strong, not always clear, not always faithful in every moment, my door had closed and would never open again. But I tell you, with all the mercy and tenderness of a father who never gives up on his child. My love is not as fragile as your thoughts. My grace is not so small that your past can exhaust it. And my kindness does not retreat just because you once stumbled. I know your mistakes, but I also know the tears you shed after those mistakes. The nights when regret kept you restless. The times when you blamed yourself for not doing better. I know the times you went the wrong way. But I also saw how you hurt when you realized you were far from peace, far from the place where you truly belonged. I know the moments of doubt, when your heart swayed between faith and fear, but I also heard your whisper searching for me in your own darkness. Even when that whisper was weak and trembling, nothing within you surprises me. And there is no hidden corner of your heart that I have not seen. I do not love you with an unknowing or shallow love. I have known you completely from before you knew who you were. Before you could name your own emotions. I knew the seasons when you would stand strong and the seasons when you would tremble. The times when you would stand upright and the times when you would fall from weariness. Yet even knowing all of this, I still call you mine and still hold you in my arms. And this is what you must hold on to today. Hold it tightly in your heart. You do not belong to your failures. You are not defined by your falls. You belong to me. Right now, in the very moment you are reading these words, I am covering you with mercy deeper than every sin you have ever committed. With grace wider than every old chapter you thought had closed. With love more enduring than everything you once feared you had lost. The miracle I am bringing into your life is not a reward for your perfection, because I have never demanded that you become perfect before I would love you. That miracle comes because I am faithful, because my nature is to love and keep my word. It comes because my heart chose you before you could do anything to prove your worth, before you could succeed or fail. It comes not because you have become worthy enough according to human measure, but because I placed upon you a covenant of love, a seal of purpose, and a calling that time. Mistakes and opposition cannot erase or dim. You once thought you arrived too late, that the opportunity had passed, that others had gone far ahead while you remained trapped among the fragments of the past, unfinished things, and incomplete dreams. But my child, I do not move according to human haste, nor am I limited by the clock of regret or the standards the world has set. What I ordained for you is not cancelled because you were once a step late or walked in the wrong direction. I can use even the detours you thought were wasted to teach you humility, wisdom, and deeper compassion. I can turn the years you thought were loss into a firm foundation for a stronger and more mature season. I can take the thing you are most ashamed of and wash it clean with mercy, so that place will no longer be a stain that makes you bow your head, but a living testimony that I still restore what people thought was ruined, and still renew what seemed impossible to save. I wrote your name in my purpose before you entered life, before you cried your first cry. I shaped each path of yours with a purpose that was never random, whether you recognized it or not. I knew the battles you would face, knew the rejections that would hurt you, knew the people who would promise to stay and then quietly turn away, knew the losses that would make you feel you could never rise again. I knew the nights when you would have to hold yourself in silence because no one understood your heart. The mornings when you would have to try to keep walking even though inside you were still worn down and exhausted. And even knowing all of that beforehand, I still spoke over you with unchanging love. You are mine. No condemnation from people can cancel what I have blessed upon you. No darkness can reverse what I have ordained. No circumstance, no matter how difficult, can lock shut the work I have begun within you. Therefore, do not place the final authority over your value and future into the hands of those who once misunderstood you or never truly saw you. Do not allow one season of failure to declare your entire destiny. Do not let the voice of the past, no matter how loud, drown out my call in the present. The anointing I placed upon you does not expire because you were once weak. My calling does not lose its power because you once cried, became confused, or did not know which direction to take. What I give you is not kept by your own strength, but upheld by my unshakable faithfulness. When you fall, I can lift you up. When you wander, I can lead you home. When you are tired, I can renew your strength. When you think you have been removed from my plan, I gently remind you that my hand is still upon your life, still guiding you step by step. The next breath you draw will not be the same as the one before. If you receive my word with trust and open your heart to my presence, not because everything outside immediately changes in the way your eyes want to see, but because the atmosphere within you is being shifted deeply. Shame is gradually losing its control. The fear of abandonment is being pulled out of its hiding place. The self-condemning words that repeated themselves again and again in your mind are being silenced. I am placing a new lightness around you, a new peace within your heart, a new awareness, so you may recognize that this moment is not like the moments that came before. My messengers have been sent, and the things you do not see are still being arranged. Heaven is not indifferent to you. Joy is rising in the realm of light, because the season you thought had been delayed too long is beginning to open according to my rhythm. Not early and not late, and I will not let you miss what I have prepared for you. You may have missed a few opportunities because of fear, a few encounters because you were not ready, a few doors because you did not yet have enough clarity. But you cannot lose what I am still holding in my hand for you. What belongs to my purpose will come to you at the right time. But I want you to stand in your position, ready and awake. Continue honoring me in the small things, in the things that seem unseen by anyone. Keep faith when your eyes have not yet seen the full picture. Keep your heart open, not closed because of disappointment, not hardened because of what has passed. Be tender before my leading, because a tender heart is not weakness. It is the place where grace can sink deepest, where miracles can take root and grow in a lasting way. There are things I am about to do within you that are too holy for you to expose before every eye right now. Not everyone can understand the process I am leading you through. Not everyone is pure enough to rejoice when I lift you up. And not everyone knows how to protect what is sacred with the right kind of silence. So when I tell you to keep certain things hidden, it is not to isolate you or make you lonely, but to protect the seed that is beginning to sprout within your heart. Some blessings need to be covered in prayer before they are revealed in the light. Some promises need to be guarded in the heart before they become reality before everyone's eyes. Do not rush to tell those who are not prepared to witness what I am doing. Do not place the pearl of your new season into the hands of those who still look at you with old eyes, because they may not recognize the value of what I am forming within you. My child, rest in this truth and let it sink deeply into every thought and feeling within you. I am not angry with you. I have not rejected you, and I have not come to replay your mistakes so you will bow your head in shame. I come to call you to rise, to lift you from the place where you have been sitting in disappointment. I come to remind you that grace remains, the covenant remains, the calling remains, and my love for you remains whole as it was from the beginning, not diminished in any way. What I began within you will not stop halfway. What I have blessed will not be undone by human hands. What I have ordained will not be erased by darkness. Keep walking forward with humility, with trust, with open hands and a heart ready to receive. Your appointed time has not been lost, has not been stolen. It is drawing near, and in many ways, it has already begun. I am with you, going before you, guarding you from behind and surrounding you, and leading you into what only my love can bring to fullness.